Your next line is, everyone get in the car, we're leaving this town now.
NANI?!
No matter which part, ever since the release of JoJo Bizarre Adventure anime in 2012, it arrived as a meme machine. And also the dub version and the localization helped a lot. But how did Araki manage back in 1987 to write jokes and moments that would still work today with TikTok humor? The current meme that I'm talking now is this Joseph Joestar scene of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3 Stardust Crusaders Episode 12 according to the Netflix version. They fighting against the stunned justice, which create illusions, and because of this combination of JoJo's voice acting, all this absurd and exaggeration of emotions, watching this scene without any context seems extremely funny. Now, before I sound really annoying trying to explain memes, the goal of this video is talk about JoJo's language and how everything that Araki does, it's meant to make you turn the next page, or in audiovisual terms, make you watch just that one more episode. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you want to help me keep making content. I got into JoJo through a friend who liked a lot the PS1 fighting game, which is amazing by the way, and that introduced me to the game's art. And later I went to read the manga. Back then, finding the manga scans was almost impossible, and I remember reading part 3 and 4 in extremely low quality. The thing is, even with all this difficulty reading it, I couldn't stop. More and more, I felt that JoJo was testing the limits of insanity. You just couldn't predict anything, and it constantly got laughs and emotions out of me. And with anime today, all of this gets amplified. As a JoJo fan, I couldn't be happier with the way they did the adaptation. At least talking about the first parts, they respected Araki's different styles while adding more insanity through the colors. And I don't even have words to start talking about the voice acting. I mean Dio's voice, Jotaro's voice. They even cast Tomokazu Sugita, Gintoki's voice, as young Joseph. And I know for a fact that they did this just for me because I'm a huge Gintama fan. Nobody can take this out of my head. Ever since the announcement of Part 3 animation, I already expected that if we got a high quality adaptation, JoJo could absolutely blow up. And that's exactly what happened. The first seasons already attract a huge audience, but everything changed when JoJo Part 3 arrived. The fact is that when Part 3 premiered, a huge number of fans started binge watching the earlier parts. I was obsessed. I spent 80% of the time saying goodbye JoJo and the other 20% saying Kono no Dioda, to the point that some of my friends nicknamed me as JoJo. And yeah, I got bullied. Why do you ask? JoJo's exaggerated visual language, the poses, the expressions, the events, everything in JoJo was just too much. But all of this wasn't luck. This wasn't just a person with natural talent. JoJo and aesthetic and humor, everything was built through effort and study. Even mangaka who was already made into the profession could have their submissions rejected at the very first page and will leave their meetings in tears. Witnessing that kind of sight while waiting your own turn to go in and show your submission will impress you upon the importance of creating a gripping first page. In essence, the very life or death of your manga will depend upon the first page. Araki constantly compared himself to others in every aspect, but that only made him desire to improve and grow even more stronger. Not just to make the editor turn that damn first page, but to keep the reader interested. In his book, Manga in Theory and Practice, He talks about his early journey as a mangaka, the one-shot that he first published, his first serialized series, and one of the strongest things that I took from this book is that there's always room to improve and push your limits further. In just a few pages, a few scenes, JoJo can make you feel the most mixed emotions. Trying to explain JoJo to someone outside the fandom is just incredible because everything would just turn to a laugher. It's just craziness on top of craziness. In all of that exaggeration, Araki was basically writing back in the 80s the foundation of the work that would become perfect for the internet humor. But it only works that way because of the 2012 adaptation. Before that, JoJo easily fell into that limbo of amazing manga that seemed impossible to adapt. Pop culture references, music references, all of that you got in JoJo. Plus, one thing that no one can take out of JoJo is that it has charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. I will never forget the first time I heard Hetoho Tochiri Peppa. And yeah, JoJo has some old OVAs. I haven't watched much of them, but there is no comparison to the success of this current anime adaptation. And I didn't even start talking about this whole movement pushing Netflix to release Steelball Run. I mean, come on. And it only gets better with the localization. And even though we get some change on stand names because of copyright, it did annoys me a bit, but it's understandable. Because of the dub version, we can get some gems, like
no one can just deflect the emerald splash.
And this recent Joseph one. And this surprised me a bit. Part 3 meme of Joseph. Why people are going back to this? But honestly, thinking about it now, it makes complete sense. The character making one tiny thing, one scene that nobody would care, but they put so much effort rotating around the character, making Joseph scream a lot, and then releasing his stand, Hermit Purple. This is just too good out of the context. Also, when you pitch the voice and accelerate it and do this and do that TikTok editing, what can I say? That's brain rot and I like it. It all started with Araki trying to make the editor to turn the first page back in the 80s. This is a work built with a ridiculous amount of effort and dedication. One that transcends media and technology, even the ones that were just born. Thank you for staying with me until here. See you next time.